Hi guys. So, why sleeping in nature is so powerful? There's many reasons, but one thing that that is really having an impact on me is, when I sleep in nature or just in general spend a lot of time in nature, I begin to realize that life can actually be super simple. And a lot of what I'm doing and what you may be doing in your day-to-day life might be all very, important and nice things to do. But at the end, life can be much simpler also. And to be aware of that can be powerful because, I think a lot of what we do is either because we are worried about how we're gonna make a living, or basically most things that, like, what drives people most of the time is either money or sex. That is actually pretty much established. And sex also meaning, like, the whole drive to procreate and so forth, which is a human basic need. And money is kind of about financial stability, security, survival, which is also a human instinct. So if we are driven like that, then oftentimes we might not make the best decisions because we're driven by kind of insecurity. What happens if I don't have this job? What happens if this client doesn't sign up? What happens, I can't pay my bills? And this is never a good basis to take action on. But if we realize, like, for example, when I go into nature and sleep in nature or just go for long walks, it's kind of showing me that a lot of the things that I have and that I do and that I spend my money on, they're all nice and good, but I don't really need them, when it comes down to it. You need to ask yourself, like, what are the things that you really, really need, in order to be able to live? And what are the things that are nice to haves, and yes, you can make an effort to get them, but if it doesn't work out, it's also okay. So if you're clear about these priorities, and if you're clear that, for me, I know that as long as my survival is taken care of, everything material is kind of second to my personal growth, spiritual growth journey. And I would not like to trade that for it. So what it might be for you, I don't know, but the moment you're clear that what's actually the most absolute basic thing that you need is very simple. Like, for example, if you're able to live in a tent, and eat simple things, then life can be so simple. And I'm not saying you should do that, but it's nice to be able to do that and to be aware that this can be, like, also a way to live. Like, let's say tomorrow morning, there's a huge well, I don't want to wish anything, but let's say there's a huge I don't know if you know, like, this show Lost, or, like, what are they called, where there's a huge, or there's this one, it's called The Walking People or something. I once watched like a couple of episodes, and it's like there's all these zombies. Basically, people are living like nothing is normal. Cities are completely died out. Most people are dead. There's a couple of groups here and there, and they just live like on survival mode, living in the forest and so forth. So, when it comes down to it, all the stuff that we acquire mostly is kind of, not really that significant. And so think about how much of your life are you or how much of your life energy are you spending on just kind of being able to get these things that at the end, when you are like, you know, dying, they don't really matter shit. So yeah, coming to nature, spending time in nature, maybe even sleeping in nature, is giving this great perspective, you know. It's showing you that there's so many other possibilities. The spectrum of possibilities is so wide, because I think many times in day-to-day life we tend to see only a very narrow part of the wide spectrum of possibilities. And to widen that spectrum can be really powerful. So one way is to go to one extreme, which is like very minimalistic, simple. Maybe you also want to explore the other extreme, and then you can see the difference, like how it impacts you. So I encourage you, come to nature, soak up the energy of nature, because I feel that fundamentally this is more true to our nature than living in cities. And while it's so nice to live in a city, to reconnect and to charge up our fundamental batteries is really powerful in nature. So I hope you enjoy this, guys. I see you next week, and if you like it, make sure you give me a thumbs up. You leave a comment, let me know what are your questions. Is there anything that you're worried about, that you like, a problem that you're facing in your life, problem with your growth, problem in your, you know, lifestyle, your partnerships, in your business. I'm not an expert on like all of these, but I can maybe just share a perspective or, you know, an experience that I had. So if you have any questions, don't worry, just leave a comment, and I see you next week, guys. Bye.